What if I told you that the reason people keep disrespecting you isn't because they're cruel, but because you've unknowingly trained them to? Understand power. This is the brutal truth behind respect and why kindness alone will get you crushed. So the question is, how do you make sure they never cross the line again? Respect is not given, it is taken through strength and strategy. In many ways for respect will wait forever. The world bows not to the meek, but to the powerful. Position yourself so that others have no choice but to acknowledge you. As the world does not hand out respect like a gift, it rewards those who seize it, those who understand that in every interaction, respect is negotiated, not assumed. In daily life, this means that your presence, your words, and your actions must carry intention. You must present yourself as someone who values their own time, energy, and dignity so profoundly that others feel it the moment you walk into a room. That is not arrogance, it is clarity. Strength is not about domination, it is about conviction. When you speak, speak with purpose. When you move, move deliberately. Let there be weight to your decisions and certainty in your posture. The one who hesitates is often overlooked. The one who owns their path becomes impossible to ignore. Strategy then is the second blade of this sword. Life is a game of positioning. To be respected, you must understand people, read the room, and calculate your approach. Know when to be silent and when to make yourself heard. Know when to lead and when to watch. Not all battles are worth fighting, but all moments are worth mastering. When you combine inner strength with external strategy, you become unshakable. You teach others silently and powerfully how you are to be treated. You no longer chase validation, you attract it. Because people instinctively respect what is grounded, prepared, and unapologetically itself. So ask yourself daily, am I moving through life with strength? Am I thinking 2 steps ahead? When you do, you'll begin to feel a shift. People will respond differently. Opportunities will present themselves, and disrespect will vanish, not because you demanded its absence, but because you became the kind of person it dare not approach. In a world that tests your worth at every turn, remember, respect is not found, it is forged. Through strength, through strategy, through self-mastery. Power commands respect. Kindness without strength invites contempt. Benevolence is admirable, but without the ability to assert yourself, it is mistaken for weakness. Let your kindness be a choice, not a default. Power, in its truest form, is not loud, it is presence. It's the quiet force behind your choices, the unspoken strength that lets others know you will not be pushed, bent, or used. In life, if you wish to be respected, you must first embody power, not the kind that crushes others, but the kind that keeps you grounded, composed, and untouchable. Kindness, when supported by strength, is a force of nature. It heals, inspires, and builds trust. But kindness without strength, that becomes weakness in the eyes of the unprincipled. When you are generous without boundaries, compassionate without direction, or forgiving without standards, you open the door for others to exploit you. Not because kindness is wrong, but because the world respects power before it respects purity. To be effective, your kindness must be sharpened by discipline. Your giving must be balanced by self-worth. Your heart must be guided by your backbone. When people see that your kindness comes from choice, not from fear or a desire to be liked, they respect it. And more importantly, they respect you. In daily life, this means setting limits. It means saying no without guilt, walking away from disrespect, and valuing your time like it's sacred. It means showing up with empathy, but never at the cost of your dignity. Your power is not in how much you give, it's in your ability to choose who receives it. People are drawn to strength, not the tyrannical kind, but the disciplined, unwavering kind. When you pair that with intentional kindness, you become someone who is not only respected, but unforgettable. So carry your power like armor and your kindness like a flame. Let people feel both and watch as respect follows you into every room, every conversation, and every opportunity. This is how you rise, not by shrinking to please, but by standing to lead. Control perception and you control respect. Appear strong even when you are not. The illusion of confidence often earns more reverence than truth. Reputation is a weapon wielded wisely. Respect is not always about who you are, but about who others perceive you to be. In a world driven by image, energy, and first impressions, perception becomes a powerful tool, one that can elevate you beyond your current position, protect you from manipulation, and project authority before you even speak. Reality and appearance are rarely the same, and those who master the art of perception shape the way they are treated. This doesn't mean being fake, it means being intentional. It means deciding how you want to be seen and aligning your behavior, your presence, and your values with that vision. Do you want to be seen as someone who tolerates anything or someone who sets the tone in every room? People treat you based on what you signal. Walk with purpose, speak with clarity, hold eye contact. These are not small things. They are visual declarations of self-respect. And when others sense that you value yourself, they're far more likely to mirror that respect back to you. Every action you take adds a brush stroke to the portrait others paint of you. Show consistency and they'll see discipline. Set boundaries and they'll see power. Lead with calm under pressure and they'll see confidence. Control these impressions and you begin to control your environment. This applies to your work, your relationships, and even your digital life. How you present yourself on social media, in emails, or during a handshake, it all matters. The person who controls their narrative commands the room without needing to raise their voice. But remember, perception must be backed by truth. If your image is all show and no substance, it will eventually collapse. The key is alignment, becoming the kind of person who earns respect, and then ensuring the world sees that person clearly. So ask yourself daily, what am I showing the world? Are you projecting fear or focus, doubt or discipline? People respond to what they perceive. Shape that perception and you shape your destiny. This is the power of presence. This is how you earn and protect your respect. Disrespect is a test. Pass it once and you'll face it forever. The moment you tolerate disrespect, you teach others how to treat you. Immediate and calculated responses establish your standard. Every act of disrespect you tolerate is a silent agreement, a contract you didn't sign, but one you enforce by your silence. The truth is, people are always watching. They test your limits not always out of malice, but out of curiosity. They want to see what you'll allow, and once you show them, they rarely forget. The first time someone crosses your line and you let it slide, you send a message, this is acceptable. And the second time, it becomes a pattern. Soon, it's no longer seen as disrespect, it's seen as your standard. A leader or any individual who seeks self-mastery must teach others how to treat them. This begins by recognizing that disrespect isn't random, it's strategic. Whether consciously or not, people are assessing you. They push, they press, and they wait. If you flinch or fold, the test resets with higher stakes. The uplifting truth. You have the power to redefine your boundaries at any moment. You're not trapped by yesterday's silence, but you must decide now to rise, to speak, to confront. You don't need to be cruel, but you do need to be clear. Calmly asserting your line is not arrogance. It is self-respect made visible. Daily life offers endless moments where people will test your time, your energy, your integrity. The coworker who speaks over you, the friend who takes without giving, the stranger who cuts in line, or the partner who dismisses your voice. These aren't inconveniences. They are opportunities to reclaim your space. When you set the boundary once and hold it, truly hold it, something shifts. People adjust. The tests become less frequent, less bold. Why? Because you've changed the conditions. You've proven that you respect yourself too much to be handled carelessly. Remember, every time you confront disrespect, you are not just defending your dignity, you are training the world how to engage with you. So the next time disrespect shows up, don't pass the test, pass the lesson. Make it the last time. You don't have to fight everyone, but you must stand for yourself. Once you do, you won't just earn respect, you'll own it. Do not seek to be liked. Seek to be respected. To be loved and respected is rare. If you must choose, it is safer to be respected through fear than to be disrespected through love. To chase approval is to hand over your power. When you live for the applause of others, you become a puppet to their preferences, constantly adjusting who you are just to remain in favor. But respect is rooted in principle, not popularity. Being liked is easy. Smile often, agree frequently, avoid confrontation, and you'll be liked by many. But likability is fleeting. The moment you draw a boundary or speak a hard truth, the applause fades. Those who liked you for being agreeable will vanish when you become authentic. Respect, however, is earned through consistency, conviction, and courage. It means you're not afraid to stand alone if it means standing for something that matters. It means you don't compromise your values to fit in, and you don't dilute your voice to avoid conflict. Respect grows slowly, but once earned, it endures. Understand this distinction well. Leaders who sought to be loved above all else would be destroyed when hard decisions had to be made. The same applies to your life, whether in the workplace, in friendships, or even family. If you build your identity on being liked, you will betray yourself again and again just to keep the peace. But here's the empowering truth. You don't need everyone to like you. You need only to be respected by the right people, those who recognize your strength, your integrity, your discipline. That respect will open doors, command attention, and protect your time, your voice, and your vision. So ask yourself daily, am I acting from the need to be liked or the desire to be respected? Start showing up as someone who speaks honestly, sets boundaries, and honors their own standards. You might lose some fans, but you'll gain something far greater: peace of mind, self-trust, and a reputation that commands admiration even in your absence. In a world obsessed with being liked, the rare individual who chooses respect becomes unshakable. And in time, ironically, the one who seeks respect above approval often becomes the one people admire most. So walk with dignity, speak with strength, let them like you if they wish, but make sure they respect you either way. Set boundaries like a fortress, unshakable and known. Just as a prince defends his territory, you must defend your self-worth. Let your boundaries be clear and enforced, or they will be invaded. A fortress stands not to isolate, but to protect. Its walls don't suggest weakness, they announce strength. Your personal boundaries must operate in the same way, clearly defined, firmly guarded, and built with intention. Too often, people allow others to cross lines they never vocalize. They say yes when they mean no. They tolerate disrespect, hoping it will stop on its own. But silence is consent in the mind of those who exploit. If you don't declare where your limits are, others will assume you have none. A prince who failed to defend his territory would soon lose it. The same principle applies to your time, your energy, your peace. Without firm boundaries, your life becomes an open field, subject to the whims and invasions of others' expectation. To set boundaries like a fortress means you know who you are, what you value, and what you will not accept. It means saying this is the limit and standing by it, even if others are offended. Respect isn't built on pleasing everyone. It's built on clarity and consistency. When your boundaries are known, people learn how to approach you. When your boundaries are unshakable, people learn how to treat you. And when your boundaries protect your time, your mind, and your standards, you operate from a position of power, not desperation. You are not required to explain your fortress to everyone. Not everyone will understand why you no longer answer every call, attend every event, or tolerate certain behavior. That's okay. A fortress isn't built for the approval of others. It's built for the survival of what matters most within its walls. Each time you enforce a boundary, you reinforce your value. Each time you say no to what drains you, you say yes to what builds you. So build your walls with intention, make your standards clear, guard your peace like a strategist defends a kingdom, not with anger, but with quiet authority. Because in the end, the strength of your boundaries determines the strength of your life. And the world will treat you only as well as you teach it to. So how do you make sure they never cross the line again? You stop asking for respect and start commanding it through boundaries, through presence, through unwavering self-discipline. The truth is clear. Respect is not earned by being liked. It's won by being unshakable. Remember, every time you tolerate disrespect, you train the world how to treat you. But every time you stand firm, you redefine your value. What's one boundary you've been afraid to set, but know you need to? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every one, and your insight might help someone else rise stronger. If this video lit a fire in you, then you're ready for what comes next. Click the video on your screen now and discover my blueprint for mastering power and becoming a true leader.